Assalamu alaikum, friends. Tonight is the 4th night of Muharram. Our Majlis continues and we recite Nawhas to mourn the great loss in Karbala. Our eyes will continue to shed more and more tears, and our matam will also increase.
Why don't we take our hearts and minds to Imam Hussein in Karbala? He has hardly 72 men with him, while day by day Yazid's vulture-like men are gathering in large numbers to kill Imam Hussein.
On the 9th of Muharram, Yazid's commanders decided to fight Imam Hussein and his men. They blow the trumpets to start the battle. Imam Hussein was not ready to fight. He called his brother Abbas, the commander of his small army.
He told Abbas, "Abbas, go to the commanders of Yazid's army and ask them to give us one more night. We will be ready tomorrow." His request was granted.
Why did Imam Hussein ask for one more night? Was it so he could pray? Spend time with his children? Spend one more day with his darling daughter Sakina? He wanted to do all those things, but he was waiting for one special guest.
Hur was the captain of Yazid's army. He was the captain who stopped Imam Hussein from going to Kufa. He and his 1,000 men forced Imam Hussein to come to Karbala.
The name Hur means to be free. We find that Hur lived up to his name. He freed himself from the fire of hell before it was too late. On the 9th of Muharram, Hur could hear Imam Hussein's children cry, "Al-Atash! Al-Atash! Al-Atash!"
Hur began feeling extremely restless. He kept on thinking about what a grave mistake he has made by bringing Imam Hussein to Karbala.
What have I done? Why? Why did I put the son of Fatema in this position? Will Imam Hussein forgive me? Will Allah forgive me? Will Lady Fatema forgive me? How? How can I ask for forgiveness?
Hur could not sleep the whole night. He spent the night weeping and begging Allah to forgive him.
On the 10th of Muharram, early in the morning, horses in Yazid's camp were hot and uncomfortable. They were jumping up and down. They could not keep their hooves on the ground because it was so hot. So Yazid's soldiers poured buckets of water on the horses' hooves to cool them down.
As Hur watched the water being poured onto the horses, he thought about Imam Hussein's children crying out for water. Al-Atash, Al-Atash, Al-Atash.
Hur could not take it anymore. He called his son and said, "My son, I have made a terrible mistake. I have brought such a pious and truthful man here to be killed. Please, my son, quickly take me to Imam Hussein. I want to beg him to forgive me before it's too late. I am ashamed of myself. Will Imam Hussein forgive me? How can I face him? Tie my hands and cover my face so that I do not face him while I ask for his forgiveness."
Hur's son did what his father had asked him to do. He tied Hur's hands and covered his face. Hur and his son mounted their horses and headed towards Imam Hussein's camp.
Hazrat Abbas was guarding the camp and thought that Hur and his son were coming to attack him. Imam Hussein told him to stand back.
Imam Hussein welcomed Hur and said, "Welcome, Hur, welcome. I have been expecting you."
Hur threw himself at Imam Hussein's feet and begged for forgiveness. Imam Hussein took Hur in his hands and said, "Hur, my friend, I forgive you. I assure you that my grandfather, my father and my mother have also forgiven you."
Imam Hussein, Abbas, Hur and his son rode back to the tents. At Fajr time, Ali Akbar gave the adhan. They all prayed their Fajr prayers. Soon after that, Yazid's soldiers blew the trumpet to start the battle.
Hur asked Imam Hussein for permission to go and fight the enemies of Islam.
Hur, you are my guest. You've only been with me for a short time. I have not been able to look after you properly. I have neither fed you, nor have I been able to give you water. I cannot let you go, Hur. You are my guest.
Hur did not give up. He kept insisting on being the first to go to battle. Imam Hussein agreed and gave permission to Hur.
Hur fought bravely, but eventually he fell off his horse. Severely wounded, he called for Imam Hussein.
Hur breathed his last breath on the lap of our beloved Imam Hussein. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
Hur taught us a very important lesson. He taught us that it is never too late to ask for forgiveness. He chose heaven. He chose happiness in the world hereafter.
Be like Hur. Choose good deeds. Choose halal things. Go for the truth. And choose to be in heaven.